Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight, Vermont is coming, and I'm disappointed. Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably going, Spartan, but you've always wanted Vermont in the game. Well, how can you be disappointed with Vermont? Spartan, please explain. I got you, fam. Calm down. I'm not disappointed with Vermont at all. But tonight has been a rough night, and this match quantifies it as much as possible. We have had some real rough times. So hopefully you guys are ready, because this one is going to be interesting. I apologize for the little bit of clickbait titles, but I'm kind of interested to see what the narrative of this video ends up being. I get my feelers out there in the community, and I can't wait to see all of the people on Facebook, Reddit, or in the Discord start immediately going, "Did you see Spartan's video? He's disappointed with Vermont." I promise you, there will be at least one person out there that takes the title of this video and runs with it without ever watching the video. And those are the people that I'm trolling. So, yeah. Anyway, you guys know the deal. I like to troll y'all on occasion. It's a thing. I'm probably the biggest troll when it comes to World of Warships Legends content creators. I have pulled off some of the most ridiculous trolls in the history of World of Warships Legends, period. There was the I like big butts, not gonna lie. That was really good. That was, I want to say it was on the Meet the Freeze list? Or it was like, I forget exactly which video it was. There was a small video. And the name of the video was simply, "Nobody ever reads the title anyways," right? And it worked. Nobody actually read the title, and they just clicked on the video because it showed a thumbnail of, you know, the ship that I was trying to, quote-unquote, promote at the time. So, a little bit of a troll there, right? Then there was the troll that, if you guys remember back when I was CC last time, I got in trouble for accidentally releasing the patch notes a little early because I had forgotten to make a thumbnail, and when I uploaded the video and set it up to release at a specific point, I had set it to premiere. And so the YouTube auto-generated a thumbnail, and it was the first part of the video, which was the first few lines of the patch notes, and therefore I broke NDA, and I got in trouble for that. That was one of the first things that I actually got in trouble for in World of Warships Legends as a CC. But anyway, then I went on to go even further, and oh my god, hello Nelson. Wait for it. Boom! And of course, in true Spartan fashion, we gotta leave him with just enough to get away. Anyway, back to the next part of the troll. Not only did I manage to do that and get in trouble, I decided to troll not only everybody who told on me, because there were people, actually, fun fact, I had told on myself long before anybody actually reported it, but there were several people that reported it to Wargaming. I had already messaged to Can explaining that I screwed up, and the self-report is actually what ended up, you know, saving me in that situation. But I digress. There were people that tried to report me, and there were people that were trying to, like, get me out of the CC program for the longest time, and it was funny, because those people, we already know them, right? There's so many people out there that are just not happy with themselves, so they try to make other people miserable as well. But, I decided to troll everybody by releasing my next patch notes video with a thumbnail that looked like I had forgotten to make a thumbnail, but the thumbnail was simple, and at the bottom of it, it looked like patch notes. It legitimately did, but I had erased all of that, and I had made it to my own thing, and it was like a little troll note, and at the very end of it, it said simply, "If you got, then leave a comment below," right? And it was that simple. Oh, that was a bad idea. Not only did I get everybody with that, by the way, I got the developers, and they were not happy with me at all. It's so much so that they actually made a rule after that one that we are not allowed to premiere patch notes anymore on YouTube. And I understand it, but yeah, definitely wasn't my brightest idea. But it was a great troll. I am very good at the whole trolling thing when I want to be. But don't ever try to troll people with a thing that's gotten you in trouble in the past. It tends to not end well for you. And oh, hello, Nelson. Remember me, Sunshine? Oh, your guns aren't even looking in the right direction. This is gonna sting. Through the trees. Yep, that's GG's. Nighty night, Nelson. Anyway, the moral of the story is I like to troll on occasion, and so this video is dedicated to those people who are definitely going to run off with this video title and go, "Oh my God, Spartan's disappointed with the Vermont coming to Legends. How could he? He's such a hypocrite. He's wanted it for so long. He always says, I can't wait for Vermont. And now Vermont's on its way and he's immediately finding something to complain about. That Spartan guy, that's all he ever does is complain." But no, I'm just having a little bit of fun with y'all. Y'all know the deal. We're going to get patch notes later this week. You guys know I'll have a live reaction to the patch notes when they release for you guys to check that out. I read the patch notes in their entirety so that you don't have to. And I give you guys my live take. And USS Black here has decided to throw all of his health away. So we'll take it. I hit him with all of the shells pretty much. Leave him with just enough to continue to be a problem. But he already used his torpedoes. He ain't gonna reload those anytime soon. American torpedoes take like 2 minutes to reload, so he's screwed and he knows it, and he's just trying to get some fire damage or some HE damage before this one's over. And so we fire the front guns, and that doesn't finish him, so we fire the rear gun. And that does, because that was accurate as crap. But we go ahead and put out the triple fire. And look at this point right now. Stop the game and look around. We have 2 cruisers on the A cap. We have me in the B cap. We have 2 battleships on the Charlie cap, right? Now, there are 2 battleships on the enemy team on the Charlie cap. We have a cruiser on the enemy team on my left, and there is a destroyer that is God knows where at this time. Now, unbeknownst to me, I am trying to win this game for my teammates, right? Like, I am doing my darndest. But I do make a big mistake here. And the mistake that I make is simple. As I am trying to capture this base, I am trying to put myself in a position to counter the battleships on the right. Help my teammates, right? Setting up those crossfires that we all love. The ones that I talk about all the time. Get into the crossfires. Don't stay together. Gotta go forward. Try to set up a crossfire somewhere on the map. If everybody bow tanks you, then your teammates have crossfires. If everybody bow tanks them, then you have the crossfire, and so on and so forth. So we have, in fact, set up a massive crossfire on those battleships on the right. Look at this. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I should have shot the Kansas first. But I was thinking in my head, okay, North Carolina's broadside, he is not moving. I have a chance to absolutely neuter him. 1 shot, 1 kill. That's the thought process. Unfortunately, it did not materialize. North Carolina is just lucky as crap. Now, we do get the cap. We did our job. Unfortunately, we lost one of our battleships on that right side. And once again, North Carolina just gets lucky here. He just survives, doesn't take a single citadel, and gets lucky again. Now, here is where I start to really make a mistake. I should have, instead of going out of the cap here, I should have used this island to protect me from the battleships for a little while longer. I've got more shots coming out. I know that the Kansas is behind the island. He can't shoot me. I can't shoot him. But we go ahead and we just keep railing on this North Carolina. And he just keeps getting away with it. Like, I have never seen a North Carolina sit this. And of course, he's shooting HE too. So just hammer home the fact that this guy has no idea what he's doing. Right? Like, he's just firing HE from a North Carolina while sitting broadside to a ship that should be deleting him. And unfortunately, I eat 2 torpedoes here, or 1 torpedo here, and that hurts. Because that's a Suja, and Japanese torpedoes sting. Now, Suja does make the mistake of getting a little bit too close to me, but it is a Suja, which are notoriously annoying to get rid of. Especially from a commander who is going to do everything in his power to dodge. Okay, he's already showed that. We've taken shots at him at different points during the match, and all he has done for the entirety of the match is run away and try to set fires. That is the only thing he has done, and that should be what causes him to lose the game. But unfortunately, the Kansas manages to hit me, the North Carolina manages to do his damage with the fires, and the Suja is a Suja, damage, high DPM cruiser. One of our cruisers goes back to defend the right side with the cruiser over there. The other cruiser decides to go into the A cap and just sit there for the entirety of the rest of the match until he can do something to throw the game. Why this guy managed, like, grabbing the cap in that situation was a great idea, right? But why didn't he put himself in a situation where he could have helped with the cruiser? He knew it was just a cruiser over there, right? A Plymouth is what is there. And the Plymouth should have absolutely been able to annihilate a Suja, especially when the Suja was getting too close there at the end. Like, that guy would have annihilated that Suja. But no, he decides to stay as far away as possible. He puts himself behind an island. Now he's shooting at a destroyer that's like 40 kilometers away. He wasn't even able to hit the Suja, so God knows he ain't going to be able to hit the destroyer, right? They're really slow rounds. Like, you're not going to be able to lead a destroyer with this thing consistently. Fortunately for us, the Suja that's over there manages to take out the enemy Benson. And between the two battleships that died and the Suja, they managed to take out the Kansas that was low health as well. Now, we have 2 caps, they have 1. All my teammates have to do at this point is nothing. Keep them from getting into our caps, and we win. That's it. They don't have to do anything crazy. They don't have to try to put themselves in harm's way. Nothing, and they win. Plymouth, at this point, should have known that the enemy cruiser would try to go for A, right? He has to. If he sits tight out there at the edge of the map, he's going to lose. So these guys should be defending the caps. That should be their primary objective, right? And by all means, stay the fuck away from the North Carolina. But that isn't what our Plymouth does. Our Plymouth decides to go towards the one thing in the lobby that can absolutely yeet him and into the Bravo cap. Now, if his thought process was simply to defend the Bravo cap, then why go into the Bravo cap? There's no reason to go into the Bravo cap. He could have stayed out of the Bravo cap in the open water where he could potentially, adjust and get away from things. Or, like I said, he should have just went and stayed at Alpha, waited for the cruiser to inevitably come back, and then fight the cruiser. He would have been able to do so. Suja, at this point, I've already been in chat and I am like begging these guys not to do anything stupid. Like I'm seriously. And the Suja has shown that he actually knows what he's doing. He's killed 3 ships at this point. He killed the destroyer. He's done everything he can. So this guy, out of the 2 people, I figured this guy was the least likely to do something stupid enough to get himself killed. Because he's demonstrated that he at least has common sense, right? He has a little bit of an awareness of what's going on. And you can see here, he's already setting up a kiting position. He's dropped some zoning torpedoes. He knows the North Carolina's out there. He's got fantastic concealment on the Suja. So as long as he doesn't fire his guns, the North Carolina isn't going to be able to hurt him. So I go ahead and switch back over to the Plymouth, who is now firing his guns at the cruiser on the left. Again, showcasing exactly what the cruiser was going to do all along. But he doesn't stop there. He then pulls up broadside in front of the North Carolina on his right. And North Carolina obliges him by shooting him. And of course, Plymouth, being Plymouth, gets away with it. But, again, he doesn't stop there. He puts himself in a situation where he could have absolutely killed this North Carolina here. There is no situation where he couldn't have killed this North Carolina unless he did exactly what he did here, which is rush up to the island, and then he can't shoot over the island. So he's not able to finish off the North Carolina, which gives the North Carolina enough time to reload. And by the time he gets done, he then overangles, allowing the North Carolina to citadel him. And God help me, I cannot understand the decision-making that went into the end of this lobby, or into this match for this cruiser. I can't. And I'm not naming shaming. I'm not trying. I'm not pointing. It's just the decision-making. Like, this is the stuff that I always try to point out in videos. It's not about naming and shaming. It's not about trying to run down a particular player. It is simply pointing out that the dude, I actually went to check and see if he was PlayStation or not, because I was gonna put a little a blockage on him if he was an Xbox player. But anyway, it's one of those situations where you got to understand what's going on. And at this point, when that guy died, we had lost all hope of winning. Even if the Suja had managed to kill the North Carolina, which he didn't, even if he had, the game still would have ended with them winning because the other Suja had gotten into the cap and been able to defend. So, Unfortunately, we end up losing with 193,000 damage, a solo cap, and 3 kills in the Kansas. And this kind of showcases why, despite the fact that Vermont's coming, I just don't think that it's going to be as busted as everybody wants it to be. I think it's going to be the similar story to the Minnesota and the Kansas. It's going to have absolutely devastating salvos, but when it comes to carry potential, it's so slow that if you overextend and get yourself into a bad position, you're going to get taken out. If you get caught out in the open, everybody can hit it. It's not like you can really dodge. It's such a big flat target that everybody can hit it, whether it be HE or AP. And God knows that 90% of the people out there are going to damage con a single fire anyway, so they're going to get burnt down quicker than snot. So I don't think that the Vermont's going to be as busted as everybody's claiming it's going to be, but I'm ready for it, is all I'm saying. I can't wait. I'm going to have an absolute blast with Azure Lane, Colorado, or Azure Lane, New Jersey on my my Vermont, and just having an absolute glorious time. But I can't wait to see. I know there's a lot of people out there that are actually disappointed that we're getting Vermont now, when there are other ships that would maybe do a better job of balancing Legendary Tier. But at this point, I truly don't know what to say for Legendary Tier. Even getting every ship that everybody would want at Legendary Tier, it takes so long for these ships to come out that I just don't think that they're going to make that big of an impact on the overall play quality at the tier. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I'm very interested in hearing. And also, were you fooled by my troll? And if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.